I believe that the Chicago Bears can win tonight. The stakes are high for tonight's primetime matchup in Minnesota. It looks like Justin Jefferson will be out for the game. The Vikings plan on having him return December 10th against the Raiders. This makes a lot of sense for Minnesota with them having a bye next week, same as the Bears, who are going to be without Tyreek Stevenson, Deontay Foreman, and Larry Borom tonight. There's a lot at stake tonight for the Bears going against the Vikings without Justin Jefferson or Kirk Cousins. They have journeyman Josh Dobbs starting at quarterback, who's actually played really well. But we are in year 2 of Matt Eberflus, and he's not won a single division game yet. Tonight is a big night for this coaching staff. I woke up pretty excited about tonight's game. The Bears have done a lot of losing over the last couple of years, and sometimes that really dampers the excitement of watching them play. Tonight I'm really excited to see this team in action. No matter how bad we are, I've grown up only getting to watch 16 Bears games a year. And then I always spend the next 8 months dreaming of Bears football. We get 17 games now, but after tonight, there are only 5 games left this season. Meanwhile, this will most likely be our last primetime game, but we will be playing on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve to ring in the new year before finishing the season January 7th at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. A lot of fans are already in tank mode and rooting for us to lose, but we have the Panthers' first round pick. We don't need to tank to be in a great position for the NFL draft. This team is still learning how to win. I know. I heard other people saying it last night though, watching the Eagles. That is a team that knows how to win. We're not there yet, but we are getting closer and closer. Last week's game in Detroit showed a ton of improvements from the players on the roster, but the coaches still looked scared and need to do better tonight if we want to win. Brian Flores is an awesome defensive coordinator, and his blitzes destroyed Getsy's game plan last time these two teams faced each other. Luke Getsy is definitely on the hot seat. He needs to have a better game plan tonight if he wants any chance of keeping his job going forward. He was schooled by Brian Flores just 6 weeks ago. We lost Justin Fields in that game, and the season has just went downhill from there. Meanwhile, the Vikings are still in the playoff hunt. This offense has to be prepared for the blitz. Getsy needs to find answers. If he has another performance as bad as he did in the last matchup, I honestly believe he could be fired during the bye week. But I do think he responds, and Fields has a big game tonight and we win. But I'm always an optimist though, and I realize that if we don't, then this is rock bottom for Luke Getsy, and I don't think it would hurt to give QB coach Andrew Janocko a shot calling plays. The Panthers just fired their head coach Frank Reich this morning. That's 2 teams that have already fired their coaches mid-season. More will come after the year ends. That's going to be a lot of teams looking for new head coaches this offseason. The Raiders have played inspiring football under their interim coach Antonio Pierce. We really need to hope that the Panthers continue losing. That's how we can get the best draft pick. Root for Panthers losses. There was an interesting tweet today from The Athletic's Kevin Fishbain, and it's really concerning about our offense and Luke Getsy. It stated that the Bears have had the ball in the final minutes trailing by 1 score 12 times since the start of last season. They have scored 0 points in those 12 possessions. 0 points in 12 possessions in the fourth quarter with a chance to win or tie the game. If that's not an indictment of your offensive coordinator, I don't know what is. However, I do have a prediction for tonight's game. We're going to see if Getsy can surprise us. I think Justin Fields is going to have a big-time performance. He's played awesome in his last 3 primetime games, and he surely wants revenge for the last meeting. I think DJ Moore will be heavily involved in the offense, and I'm actually predicting a Bears victory tonight. I think we have the better players on the roster, but it comes down to our coaching staff. If they fail us again, I believe the writing is on the wall. People continue thinking that wins are a quarterback stat, and Justin Fields gets a lot of criticism for how bad this team's record is recently. But I want to show you guys Justin's stats over his last 17 games. He has a 90.9 QB rating, 3,088 passing yards, 1,239 rushing yards. That's 4,327 total yards with 26 passing touchdowns, 9 rushing touchdowns, a total of 35 total TDs to just 12 interceptions, yet the team is 2-15 in those games. If that doesn't tell you that wins are not a quarterback stat, I don't know what will. But tonight's game is important not only for this coaching staff, but also for Justin Fields. He takes a lot of the blame for this team losing games, and some of it is out of his control. It's insane how unlucky he's been at times. The Amir Smith-Marset fumble, Velus Jones dropping punts and passes, ESB having a 4th down pass go right through his hands, Darnell Mooney's TD coming up inches short, blown assignments on routes and screen passes, blown blocks, bad play calls, and then awful defenses that can't get a stop. The mistakes and miscues of this offense could go on forever, but at some point Justin Fields does have to elevate this team above the mistakes of the coaches and the rest of the roster. I believe he has that kind of talent, and I think tonight is the perfect opportunity to make a statement. But he also has to play better going forward because the world is screaming for a new quarterback in Chicago. Fields needs to show what he can do down the stretch here. Matt Eberflus has to show how hard these players will fight for him, and Luke Getsy has to show us a lot, honestly. We are a franchise that has never fired a head coach during the middle of a season. It has never happened in team history. I don't see that changing this year. I do think we could fire Luke Getsy, though. I don't think that's unreasonable at all, especially if he doesn't make the necessary adjustments against the Blitz tonight. These next 7 games matter a lot for the future of this franchise. 2024 is a pivotal year for the rebuild, and Poles needs to figure out if we have our head coach, offensive coordinator, and quarterback. You guys know how I feel. We do have a bye week coming up after this, so I'll be breaking down everything over the next 2 weeks. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you aren't. Hit that like button and let me know in the comments if you think the Bears can win tonight and what should happen if they don't. I most likely will not be live for tonight's game. I simply don't have the voice to talk for that long. I'm losing my voice already making this video, but I could pop up for a quick post-game live session. Stay tuned, and until next time, bear down!
Swifty in the house!